The following program contains spooky things, loud farts, John Stanley, and a whole lot of man snacking. Come to Daddy.
Four guys and a movie. Four guys and a movie. Tony, Brian, Rob, and Joe reviewing movies for the show. Four guys and a movie.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back at long last to the 4 a.m. podcast. The podcast where geeks share shrieks and fat guy chair squeaks. I'm your host this week. My name is Rob. I am joined by Tony. Say hi, Tony.
Hi.
Say hi, Joe.
Hi.
Brian had school this week. He's not with us. And Will came down with a medical condition. I believe it's called weeping vagina. But we have our good friend John here with us. Hi, John.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
I heard that Will found this crazy box.
Yeah.
He played around with it for a while.
Yeah, it was a cat box and it got infected.
Yeah. That's right.
He got pink eye in both eyes.
And a case of weeping vagina.
A case of weeping vagina.
That a bunch of change shot out of somewhere.
Yes.
To be fair,
Pulled
what
them
Rob
apart.
didn't mention is that weeping vagina is in his neck now.
Actually is. What a bitch. All right, so it's time for our October spooky Halloween episode.
I'm sorry, can I get one more of those?
Okay.
Clean.
Nope. No, we cannot.
Nope.
One was enough.
Yeah. Guys, Debeatus here is full of snacks. As you can
Debeatus
see.
has missed you.
And in honor of Halloween, I also got us some Dookie Dipped Devil.
Wow. So Rob clearly focused on one particular part of this movie we'll get into a little later.
It's apparently going to be one of those episodes.
Oh, yeah.
Get the newest Hostess product, Dookie Dipped.
I would have gotten 3 bags of family-sized Doritos.
This might be the first Drake's product we've actually had in the studio here. Fudge dipped devil dogs. But it's, I figured alliteration. Dookie dipped devil dicks for the film.
I'm about to send my diet into a realm of suffering where its soul will be torn apart.
And you get a dick. And you get a dick.
Oh,
Just like Oprah gets dicks.
Let the man snacking commence.
That's right. We are man snacking hard today. Get it right,
Yeah.
right up in that mic.
That's pro-level rapper crinkle.
So now that we officially have no more listeners left,
We've watched a movie. We watched something. It was
It
Hellraiser.
was a motion picture.
It did have
Major
motion.
motion picture.
It did have motion. It was Hellraiser from '87. You said
correct.
All right.
Even though YouTube will tell you it's 84.
Sure, John. We'll start with you. Have you ever seen Hellraiser before today?
You would think this movie would be in my wheelhouse, but no.
Okay. Wow, that's. I mean, honestly, it's why you were the first name that came to my mind when we were looking for another.
It's on my watch. It was on my watch list.
All right. Well, since you've not seen it before,
Don't worry, there's plenty more for you to still watch.
without having seen it, what was your impression of it before today?
I had seen bits and pieces, mostly involving the Cenobites,
Yeah.
and
Where you want to be.
I thought it looked interesting. I was like, all right, I someday have to make time to check this out.
All right, Joe. How about you? Have you ever seen this film before?
I think I've seen it twice. I remember seeing it and just kind of being like, yeah, that happened. I gotta go. And that was basically it. Like, But I've been excited to see the second one, which I hear is actually a whole lot better.
Okay. Oh. Is the second one the one Okay. Tony,
It's one, the mental institution.
Tony, what's your history with this? Have you seen this before?
I have definitely seen this before. Possibly more than once. I don't quite remember.
I feel like there was one of these that we watched multiple times. One of these movies. I could have sworn it was this one, I guess.
I think it was.
Was it the one in the nightclub?
Mm-mm.
That's 3, and that movie's a whole
Yeah.
barrel of monkeys.
No, because I distinctly remember the goopy guy in the attic. So it must have been this one.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not doing Hellraiser if you don't got a goopy guy in the attic.
No. Well,
Well,
yeah.
no, because then I think, is it the second one where it's the goopy mom?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep.
Well, you've seen it before. What did you think of it back then?
I'll save some more of those comments for later because they haven't changed that much. But I liked it enough that I'd seen it and I'm willing to watch it again.
Okay. Yeah. So 2 questions: who's in this movie, and why do I care?
Well, usually before,
No one, and you don't.
Yeah, we would usually discuss, what the movie cost.
Oh,
and what
that's
it made
fine. We can do
first.
that too. It doesn't matter. We
Yeah,
free here.
he's slowly cutting me out of this entirely. That's just
It's really this is more of just an idea board.
And by that you mean now that we're 200 episodes in, you're just gonna change everything.
I've written
It's
myself a
done?
check for $1 million.
Alright. So yeah, Hellraiser from 1987, rated R, of course. Directed by Clive Barker, who also did Nightbreed and Lord of Illusions. A ton else. Well, directed, didn't direct a ton else. Obviously he's big, did Candyman and a bunch of other stuff.
Dude, Ghost of Mars.
That was John
It was
Carpenter.
Oh, that's Carpenter.
Yeah,
Okay.
sadly. I wish I could blame that on Clive Barker. Anyway, also kind of fitting because the new Candyman was in theaters for a moment around nowish.
Yep.
Anyway, yeah, we totally planned that. So, the working title of this movie at one point was Sadomasochistic from Beyond the Grave.
I wonder why they didn't go with that.
Yeah.
Honestly, it would have been better.
Well, that's because they changed it from because it's based on his novel or short stories, whatever it was, The Hellbound Heart. But they felt that sounded like a romantic comedy.
In what way?
It's got a heart.
Heart is in the title. I guess it's enough. Yeah.
You can watch The Hellbound Heart.
So to make sure you don't think it's a romantic comedy, Sadomasochists from Beyond the Grave. Apparently, when workshopping this with the people that were going to work on the film, one woman suggested to rename it "What a Woman Will Do for a Good Dick," or sorry, for a good fuck. My mistake. This was also Clive Barker took over directing because he was not happy with some of the other adaptations of stuff he's written. So, so he made this to keep it true to his word.
Good.
And then the 500 other Hellraiser movies, I'm sure, kept that up. Anyway, also his mother went to see this on opening night, and when she saw
Here's what I would do for a good dick.
when she saw his name in the credits, she cried with joy. And then I
said it was
imagine abruptly left the theater. So, yeah, do you want to guess at what the budget was for this movie?
It was 87. So it was probably more than $1 million. But probably not much more. I'm going to say $2 million.
$2, a box of crickets,
That was a tank of crickets, Robert.
and a Domino's pizza with a side of Cenobites.
And a bunch of rubber cement.
Yeah.
I think
Bunch of monkey cum.
you're totally missing the horse lube budget. 'Cause that's going to be a big one. But anyway.
The horse
Yeah,
lube
but-
comes with Clive
I'll
Barker.
go 1.5. And a bucket of horse cum.
You gotta give it. If I got it, you gotta give it to me.
No, I want to give it to John. It was 1.4 million.
Okay.
But I feel like that's... Or wait, no, he would... Oh, no.
I went over.
Yeah, Rob didn't
No,
win
I'm giving
that.
it to John. Fuck you.
Tony's making up the rules now, too.
I mean, I'll allow
Well,
it.
he didn't even give real fucking numbers.
I said $2.
That, yeah.
Shut up. Want to guess how much it made?
Ooh. It made a lot of people cry.
Did it that?
I'm gonna say $30 million.
$5 million.
8.
14.
You asshole.
Okay.
Also, another thing I'm going to throw in here is just apparently some people were upset because we'll get into the effects on this movie, but particularly the ones at the end when the Cenobites are banished. Spoiler alert. That was because apparently they blew through the entire budget already. So Clive Barker and one art director dude did it on a weekend when they were super drunk. So
Time to bust out the After Effects.
yeah, he was literally like, actually, that's not too bad considering.
Tony is reeling at the shock in my face right now.
Yeah. But yeah, so who did we get for this, Joe?
All right, we got Andrew Robinson as Larry, Claire Higgins as Julia, Ashley Lawrence as Final Girl Kirsty, Sean Chapman.
Wait, what? Final girl Kirsty?
Kirsty, she was the
Kirsty.
final girl.
He doesn't watch horror movies, doesn't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I don't know.
She was the girl at the end that has to go through the gauntlet.
I
It's
see.
the final girl.
Girl that always surprises you,
Yeah.
really called the final girl.
But she shouldn't, because she humped. She humped in this film.
The humping is optional. If there's a girl who can do nothing but hump, she's dead.
Well, it depends on the franchise.
Either way, yep.
Jason will kill you for humping. The Cenobites love you for humping.
They'll get in on it.
Sean Chapman, WWE's X-Pac as Uncle Frank.
What?
X-Pac's name is Sean Chapman.
Oh,
It wasn't the same guy.
Yeah, I was just like, first of all, age.
Yeah.
yeah.
Not,
That genuinely hurt my brain for a moment there. I was like, that can't possibly be.
And you have Oliver Smith as Frank the Monster,
All of her clothes off.
and Doug Bradley as Head Cenobite, not yet known as Pinhead.
stupid.
Yeah.
Pinhead?
Well, that's honestly, even Clive Barker does not like that name. That is given by the fans. It was only, I think, in the fourth one, maybe they started actually acknowledging that as his name,
So I
along
gotta
with
say,
Butterball.
Netflix has been doing a lot of pretty terrible anime adaptations into live action lately.
Mm-hmm.
But this Yu-Gi-Oh one has to be the weirdest I've seen yet.
What the hell are we talking about?
That was just for me.
That was just for Tony. And maybe
Okay.
two of our listeners.
No, we don't have that many listeners.
The whole story of Yu-Gi-Oh is that
I don't care.
Well said.
And that's why we'll move on.
I came here to talk about goop men, guys with pins in their heads, and
Rapey uncles.
rapey uncles
All right, to be
eating
fair,
crickets.
most of that's in Yu-Gi-Oh.
wow.
All right, let's hear let's hear what's going on with this Yu-Gi-Oh. then.
No,
So he's in some market.
no, yeah. He's at old Chinese market.
We're in the era of horror movie, by the way, where the opening credits are just ominous piano and plain white lettering. You can't have anything else. Yeah.
I mean,
But
unless you're John Carpenter, and then it's weird synth.
Wait,
Well, yeah, but
he
it's
makes
still
it.
the black
yeah,
background,
yeah,
white
yeah.
lettering. All right. Yeah, we're in a market where some guy with gross fingernails, named Mr. Cotton, offers a whole lot of money for this crazy puzzle box from this other guy, also with gross fingernails.
Yeah, why? What?
Uncle Frank has long since transcended the need for hygiene.
Right.
He's at the upper limits of human sensation.
You can't grope as much as he does without getting grime under your nails.
He enjoys the sensation of things living underneath his fingernail.
I usually can't grope as much as he does because I have grime under my fingernail.
I mean,
You haven't let it go enough, Tony. Like,
Well, that's because you're still going for consensual growth.
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Well, yeah, that is.
he's like full on Torgo cupping balls.
yeah. Except unlike Torgo, he can walk in a straight direction real quick.
I mean, I guess. I don't know about that. He's got
Actually,
got
that's
that
true,
24/7 boner on. You're right there,
that got
champ.
me good. I swallowed down the wrong pipe.
Oh,
All right, so this dude's like,
he tried that too. Ultimate pleasure.
I'm gonna go back to my house. I'm gonna fucking just get in my attic, surround myself with candles, and play with this box till he achieves the lament configuration. Electricity shoots out, and some chains fly into his flesh, and we get some pretty cool like blood makeup here. Chains like pulling into him, and then it cuts to
It's acceptable on the
For
budget.
1980s.
Yeah. My bigger problem is his scream.
Mhm.
I don't know what they're going for here, but just
I'm loving it.
yeah, I guess because they're kind of going for maybe he's just having an orgasm more than anything else.
It's both. It's,
Yeah.
It's pleasure. It's pain.
But like I didn't get pain.
he's having trouble telling them apart.
That's more just.
bake you a batch of cummy wummy cupcakes.
The music is his airplane.
Don't bring the Red Hot Chili Peppers
Ooh.
into the
No,
I thought I said offensive shit.
I do more stirring and deep and meaningful screams when I have to like squeeze out a good turd than this guy does here. All right,
But you're also at that point pushing the boundaries of pain and pleasure.
I am. But that's what my point.
And, I mean, to be fair, your buttholes are probably about the same dilation at that point too.
Tony is just duking out a puzzle box.
I do that from time to time.
And puzzle pieces. This guy's like Curious George over here.
So, all right, we see we're now at a gross ass house. We zoom in on a statue of two people porking and some roaches because we need to see that.
Right.
And that there's an attic. It's just full of like rotating pillars and meat hooks and chains, and there's like just pieces of Uncle Frank, and someone like a Cenobite or something is like putting a puzzle together from the parts of his face. It's weird.
Gotta keep track
Like,
of all the pieces.
yeah, the parts of his face have like eyes in them. It's like very
Yeah, almost as if somebody ripped apart a fake head of Uncle Frank.
almost as if.
And
I think it's more meant to be unworldly. Like this shouldn't happen, but it does because we're in hellish and whatever.
so we see this guy, the head Cenobite. I'm going to refer to him as Pinhead, even though that's not his title yet.
Fine.
He's
Doug.
Doug.
Please don't call him
What's
Doug.
his name? It's Doug's.
Oh, Doug's like, oh, some people are showing up at the house. Playtime's over. Clean this up.
That's right.
All the pillars and Frank parts leave, and he resets the puzzle box and leaves it up there. And a new family shows up at the house. You got Larry, Frank's brother, and you have his wife Julia. And these guys just kind of suck.
They're
Yep.
so sexy.
Yeah.
The sexiest couple I've ever seen.
Yeah.
They're a very realistic older couple.
Yeah, they're like just constantly on the verge of having a fight with each other. And they're
Well, yeah.
patrolling this gross ass house. And you're like, these people are probably going to die, and I'm not going to be upset. So,
Yeah. Although to clarify, when I say realistic, I mean like if you saw these two people together on the street, you would think that's a couple, as opposed to like most Hollywood movies where it's like, Kevin James and Margot Robbie or something.
Yeah. He's a slouchy pushover, and she's a Karen.
Yeah.
Mhm. Hey, John, when you woke up today, did you say to yourself, I would love to see an ashtray full of maggots?
Oh, I mean, I sort of see that every day.
Yeah.
So
Your
that,
house
that
once in a while.
wasn't a particular treat for me.
What about you, Rob?
I mean, my whole life is an ashtray full of maggots.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. Well, whether you
it's
wanted
my
to or not, you get greeted by that sight. And, Frank committed all sorts of fat chat fouls by leaving just food everywhere out in his kitchen.
Well, I mean, he probably wasn't exactly expecting to be torn into
No,
pieces
but
by
this
fish
looks
hooks.
like he had a party and then didn't clean the next
Yeah.
day. Instead, went and fucked with a puzzle box.
I
Like
mean,
his kitchen was trash.
It could have. I mean, all right. Since it's Halloween.
He had a party
Yeah.
with himself.
Yeah.
And then went upstairs
there
to
was
play
a-
with his puzzle box.
I think there was a full fucking chicken on the table.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah, well-
hold on. Since it's Halloween, I'm gonna play Devil's Advocate.
Ooh.
Again, a devil dog advocate.
Playing devil's advocate.
Sponsored by
Chocolate
Drake's
dips.
Cakes.
Fudge dip devil dicks.
Yeah.
Dookie dip devil dicks. Get him at a porn
Nope.
dog. Anyway, so he like if I were seeking the highest form of pleasure, I would throw a party for myself.
You would be a lot more obese than Uncle Frank.
Yes, I mean I am a lot more obese than Uncle Frank, but that's beside the point right now. I would have a whole chicken awaiting me upon completion of this puzzle box. You lay out all the food, probably a cake there, a chicken, maybe a lobster.
Maybe the Cenobites might be hungry when they show up.
Well, I don't know Cenobites from nothing. I just know I'm gonna go
But if
diddle with this box.
If they're like, Robert, did you bring us food?
I'll be
And you
like,
were like, no, you'd be an asshole.
But that's why you prep something and then like put it in the fridge.
No,
leave it on the
no.
counter?
I want to finish my puzzle box, shower myself off, and then go downstairs to a banquet of chicken and cake.
You know you're skipping the shower.
I am not skipping the shower. I don't double dip. I don't feed myself with my when I've freed myself. If you get what I'm saying, and
Why did I come here?
I was just wondering the same thing.
for the double dip, devil dicks.
Devil dicks.
But well, first of all, this does prove it's a bad idea because obviously you don't know how long this thing is going to take. Clearly,
Right. Well, yeah. I just assume I'm gonna diddle around with this thing for a couple of minutes and then reach the height of pleasure, and then eat a chicken. And then eat a chicken.
diddle around for a little bit and then reach the pleasure and have some chicken.
I still think he had the feast and then just fuck cleaning up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go play with a puzzle box.
I mean, that is the other
that
thing.
is gonna bring me to the heights of the pleasures of heaven and hell.
That is
Yeah, this also did not look like a feast is awaiting me. This looked like I ate most of that damn chicken, and then I just said, "Fuck it, we're going upstairs."
Well, yeah. I mean, if you got the puzzle box on the horizon, it's hard to focus on.
It
the
kind of
meal.
looked to me like he tore into the snacks in the same way that Ian Malcolm's kid tore into the whole like snack reserves in Jurassic Park 2.
Just leveled the whole island worth of food.
Yeah, he just got
basically.
excited and ate like one of everything from each package, left them all out.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm gonna play with my puzzle box, and I'm either gonna go to heaven or hell.
Yeah.
And
Well, I mean, this could also
And
be
two
just,
of the bags of chips, he just like popped. Just
Yeah.
smashed.
This could also be just a sign of his addiction, his pleasure addiction. He ate. Oh, chocolate chips. I'll eat a chocolate chip cookie. Oh, that didn't do it. Okay, I'll eat a muffin. All right, that didn't do it. All right, I'll
So this
put
is-
my penis in this chicken I just roasted. That didn't do it.
Yes, this is the remnants of before he got the box when he was just trying to like put his belt around, the curtain hanger or whatever and jerk himself off when he was eating some cake or
There
something.
you go.
And-
John, you ever bang a Costco rotisserie chicken?
no, Rob, I can't say that I have.
I'm gonna go close and lock the door so John can't escape. Because I think his fight or flight is triggering him by around now.
I'm more
You know
worried he's
which
gonna-
one I default to,
He's not
John.
going to go with flight.
Tony, get ready to throw the brontosaurus at him.
Oh,
All
I'm
right.
ready.
So
It's not going to do you any good, though.
Oh, damn it. He brought a Godzilla.
we got such pivotal scenes as like Frank's daughter Kirsty calls the house while Kirsty's stepmother here, Julia, finds Uncle Frank's porn stash and just looks at him like just having some sexy times with a lady in a mask.
Yes, it's not just a porn stash. These are pictures of Uncle Frank.
Yep.
With an Asian hooker.
Well, with like
Taken by someone else.
yeah, with like 5 or 6 other people as well. Like every picture was a new woman, I believe.
She remembers that Uncle Frank.
But Julia was the most beautiful one.
So now we cut to the scene where they're moving in, and the most useless movers in the world get a mattress like 5 feet in the house, give up, and decide we're just going to stare creepily at Julia, like in front of Uncle Frank, in front of everybody, or not Uncle Frank, in front of Larry and everybody.
Yeah, everyone here is acting really awkward and weird.
What the hell? Is
It's
this
almost
a
like
mattress
they
and-
weren't receiving good direction.
Almost. Almost. Also, have any of these actors been in anything before this?
Yeah,
I recognize Christy. I don't know from what.
I think Julia's been in some stuff.
I don't think Christy's been in other things before this. You might have recognized her from other movies, but it probably was after this. Yeah,
They all suck. That's all. That's the
Miss
point I'm trying.
Higgins.
They're all terrible.
I believe I know has been others. Yeah, well, they're all people that I'm sure have worked before, but they're generally, it's not like Tom Cruise or something. They're not, big established names, and I'm sure for a reason.
Yeah. So, and is this a mattress like a mattress box spring combo? Like, I'm trying to understand why they're having such a hard time maneuvering it, especially in the 80s when they didn't really have foam mattresses. It was just like a big floppy thing.
Just a big old floppy thing.
Just trying to squeeze a big old floppy mattress up a staircase.
I think it was
you know what I'm
more a problem of like the box spring and getting that to
That would
make
make
the
So
turn.
was it all one big thing? That's what I'm saying. Because it looked very thick.
Yeah, I think it was a box spring, and they were having trouble with the angle, getting it through the door and then up that.
Either way,
stairs.
these movers are useless.
Yeah.
Both of them are on one side. They have friggin' Larry on the other side. And then, they're making googly eyes at Julia. And then Kirsty gets done with her morning walk under a bunch of old cranes and shows up at the house.
Well, wait, just to backtrack for a moment. When she's on this phone call, they keep cutting to the same shot, which is like 2 inches from her face. Weirdly. To the point where I kept wondering, because especially she made some comment about, like, I was able to get a room, you would like my room, or whatever that weird-ass comment was. But it was framed in such a way I kept expecting by the end of the phone call, they'd, like, pan back to show she's in, like, a strip club, or she's wearing a McDonald's uniform, or, something. Because it's like, why are we so weirdly,
She
like...
is in the next room in the same house.
Yeah.
Because they don't have...
No, she's probably in just like a recording booth because they can't even show, like, even in the next room, they could show like a wall.
It's funny because we see her room later on in the movie.
Yeah,
They could use that set.
True.
So anyway, so Kirsty shows up at the house, and the movers, they're like, we're kind of goons in the 80s, so we're sexually assaulting her. They're like, hey, Larry, like, what's her mother look like? And he's like, her mother's dead. And then they're like, oh.
Well, no, they say she has her mother's looks.
Oh, that's, yeah.
So both saying she's hot and your wife's hot.
Yep.
And he just snaps back with her mother's dead.
Dead.
Which is just
They're like,
My
oh,
wife is
all right.
not
Well,
that
then
hot.
let's push this mattress up the stairs so we can cut your hand open on a nail.
Yeah.
So this hand cutting on the nail thing.
There's a little bit more than a little bit of setup for this, more so than it really needs.
Yeah, but also if I were in this situation and I felt something pierce my hand, I'd probably stop moving my hand. I would not continue to move my hands. So
Well,
that
you've got a goon at the other end of
Yeah.
the mattress shoving upwards with
Since it's the season and we're playing devil's advocate now, I will say the two goons, in fact, on the other end, were pushing him forward so he could not, make a comment in time.
I guess, but it looked like he damn near amputated his hand.
Yes.
With this stupid nail. That's not even.
It certainly
wasn't
bled
even
enough.
it wasn't even the sharp end of the nail that was sticking out.
I know.
It was the head of the nail that caught his skin like it was a loose freaking pair of jeans.
But while this is happening, Julia's remembering Uncle Frank storming in, day before her wedding, and basically just porking her on her wedding dress. After, pulling a knife out and cutting one of her straps, her negligee.
I guess it's consensual, but this is some level of sexual assault, I'm sure. It's fucking weird.
I don't want to theorize about.
Yeah, that's
Frank's super aggressive.
yeah.
We'll leave it at that then.
Julia liked it though. She's remembering it, and she's like, "Damn, those were the days."
That's right.
And sure, Larry's probably a better dude, but he is a puss.
Yeah.
He comes in. No, great. Okay, I would be freaking out more than he was with the cut on his hand. But he comes in bleeding all over the place. It's like, well, I'm gonna pass out. I'm gonna faint. Blah blah blah. So
Yeah.
Really?
What's that?
That would freak you out? Are you not good with
Oh,
blood?
he can't.
No, I
handle
can't
blood.
deal with blood at all.
Well, I mean, aside
I-
from that,
I faint at the slightest.
Except for that once a month when it's in his pants.
yeah.
That's different.
But he had
I fight that.
2 quarts of blood just
Yeah.
on and around his body.
Oh,
So-
yeah, he nicked a major artery somehow.
His blood's dripping everywhere. We're getting some proto Terminator 2 effects here of the blood moving around the floor and absorbing in the floorboards. And turns out first off, the family leaves to go to the hospital. The movers just fucked off the moment they cut his hand. The mattress is gone. They're just like, we're out.
Yeah, they took the mattress with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm guessing they just dropped it and ran out the door.
Oh, you don't get that.
Fell down to the bottom of the stairs.
You don't get this mattress anymore.
So, turns out the Cenobites did a kind of shitty job of cleaning up the Frank parts. They just kind of buried him in the floor.
Well, they left his dick.
I think that's
It was
a
hard,
little homage to the Telltale Heart, which was
It could
the
very
original
well be.
name, sort of.
Get your $5 words the fuck out of this room, John
Oh
Stanley.
my goodness.
That is an angry look I'm getting from the other
I'm
end
going
of
to
the
pull up a
table.
picture of Edgar Allan Poe on my phone and slap you across the face with it.
Now, is it a picture of him banging his
That
16-year-old
sounds
wife?
wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, if I could find that, I mean, why not?
Oh,
But-
Annabelle.
Because you'll probably end up on a couple lists that, you might already be on.
Whoa, come on now. What do y'all think of the fudge dip devil dogs?
I've never really been a fan of the Devil Dog,
Yeah.
so it was a slightly better Devil Dog.
Yeah.
Which is still
Okay.
I'd rather have a peanut butter
Yeah.
thing.
I looked for Funny Bones because it had the bones in the name, but nobody had Funny Bones.
Yeah.
But they had these, and I got them because they had devil in the name. Normally, I don't futz with drakes. I find them to be dry and gross. That's why I got the fudge dipped. I thought maybe it would help, and it did. It did help.
It's not bad.
Still better than a snowball.
Yeah, but I assure you, next time we'll be back to
Anything's better
zebra
than a
dicks and the usual
Exactly.
usual fare.
Are drakes the ones that make the cinnamon twirl?
Those are hostess.
Because those are the only
I was
things.
thinking but
If those are drakes, those are the only drakes things I like.
Cinnamon twirl. I don't know what that.
The one you could unroll it.
I know
Good
which one
stuff.
you're talking about. I can't remember who the
Oh,
hell.
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, Rob, you gotta get on this.
I do need to get
All right,
on
I'll
this.
see if I can find one for you.
All right.
So anyway, so now after weird sex memories and bleeding,
Sounds just like a normal Saturday
Yeah.
to me.
we get a ton of rubber cement and horse lube as some goop just comes out of the floor.
Yeah.
And it makes a nice little puddle, and then two gross ass arms come out, and we get like a proto rib cage and a spine, and then you get a skull sort of reverse animating
Also-
itself.
Are all these things also things you'll find on John's search history?
Wow.
Sorry.
No, it looked like a creepy crawlers commercial.
Yeah.
No, I loved it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No,
about
I
everyone
think
else, but
it was enough with the unsettling.
Tony, you need horse lube when you've got,
a horse in your house.
I somehow feel if this was done with a computer, it would have looked worse.
Oh yes.
Yeah. I mean, this is...
I mean, the Mummy, pretty much.
Yeah. Even though this skull, like, it's clearly they just took like a waxy skull and melted it and just played it in reverse. But, it works. And, after a while of just generally gross unpleasantness, we get half of a skelly Uncle Frank.
Because that's the thing. I figure it is, like you said, just made it out of wax or whatever, and melted it and played it in reverse. It's definitely some form of that.
Mm-hmm.
But if they made all this just out of wax, that's impressive enough on its own, because fucking look pretty awesome.
And with the limitations placed on it by the practical effects, it's doing quite well for considering, like, it's actually there. The light's catching it nicely. It's lurking in the shadows most of the time. So, like,
the lighting definitely helps with all this.
Yeah. I gotta say, I can't fault any of these makeup effects.
Definitely not.
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, we got a skelly Uncle Frank is now living in the attic, and we cut to a dinner party full of shitty people. And Julia's just like, fucking, I want to be anywhere but here. And just goes to bed.
Yep. And Kirsty is like, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. All right.
Yeah, Kirsty's
You're it.
just like, I'm going to get fucking tore up because this party sucks.
Yeah.
And there's this other guy who I didn't know was named Steve till like the very end of the movie.
Yes, you did.
Well, I assumed his name was Steve.
I assumed it was Steve Holt.
Yeah. He was possibly a Todd.
Or Gary.
Yeah. But
maybe a Greg.
Anyway, this guy who the whole movie I'm just like, why are you in this film? But he's here, and I honestly thought he was just going to get lured to the attic and eaten by Uncle Frank.
You think, like, why? You're absolutely right. Why is he there?
Yeah. I don't know.
Has no bearing on the movie whatsoever.
Unnecessary character. He gets punched in the nose by a man lobster, but we'll get to that. So, she goes to the attic just cause, we get some cool creepy noises and a heartbeat, and we get a jump scare as, we see, first off, there's a bunch of rats eating the leftover Frank goop.
Let's start with this.
Mm-hmm.
They're downstairs. They're having a dinner party.
Yep.
Presumably to celebrate moving in or something. I don't know. Whatever. But they're upstairs. Still looks like a hobo shit all over the place. Mm-hmm. Like full on, hippopotamus muck spray.
Yeah.
Like, what are we like, does no one have some bleach and a towel?
That
like,
feces is not coming off the wall on the first cleaning. That's going to take multiple rounds.
No one's even tried that.
Plus, it's a big house. There's only 2 of them. They're never going to use those rooms. It's not a high priority.
We never even find out what's in the third room up at the attic. I wonder the whole movie.
Bathroom or
no? Yeah, there's the bathroom. There's
the bathroom's up on the top level.
I believe there's one of them's a bathroom, one of them's the room Frank's in, and the other one's the one the body
storage room. Yeah,
I think that's what it is.
I don't know. I don't think I ever see anybody use that middle door.
It just
maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong.
It probably isn't even a real room. It's probably just they found.
Oh, it definitely.
And nailed it to the wall.
Yeah,
there.
It assuredly is not an actual room. But
either way, we get a jump scare. Skelly Frank hand grabs Julia's leg.
Not that scary. You kind of saw it coming.
Yeah. And we this really sad looking skeleton Frank just like, don't look at me. As he crawls after her. Frank's been, he's been in better shape.
Although also with that, how did she not see that coming? Like, it's not that big of a room. There's literally nothing in it other than some rats and a dead body crawling around.
Busy looking at the rats eating the goo.
You're getting hard.
I don't know. I feel like it's as if she entered this room right now and was like so thrown off by that Batmobile over there that just
wouldn't be
missed all of us. Like, it's just.
I mean, to be fair, we're not much to look at.
Yeah.
True, but
she was blinded by her lady boner for Frank.
That's right. And she is the world's most beautiful woman.
She was so blinded by her lady boner for Frank that she missed the crawling corpse of Frank.
And he was like, "Don't look at me."
That's fair. All right.
He's like, "Help me! Don't look at me." He just says something about blood bringing him back, and a common problem I had running through this picture was, they say show don't tell. This movie could have used a little more tell, a little less show. Because, you're just like, what does any of this mean? I know what it means because I know about the Hellraiser franchise. But if I did not, I'd be like, what even?
It's 1987. You're sitting there at the theater and you're just like, okay, there's chains, there's a pillar spinning, there's a skeleton monster. I don't know who any of these people are. I don't know why they're here.
I'm okay.
Where did they move to? Where is this taking place?
There is that.
We know they moved from Brooklyn, but where is this?
Yeah, it's not Brooklyn. We know that much. But I don't mind that through most of the movie. We don't find that out. But it would be nice to have some more clarification of, I was in the space between spaces or something. Because I don't know. He's in the hell dimension, but also in the floor. Yeah,
it's like, John Carpenter is known for just telling you exactly what you need to know and nothing, not a single shred more. Clive Barker was like, I'm not even going to do that.
Yeah.
No.
He's like, I'm not really sure.
From what I understand, though, they do go through all of this in the second movie. But
eventually they go through everything.
Yeah, then they go into too much detail after that. All right, so
wanna know how Pinhead gets his pins? No? We're going to tell you anyway.
Too bad.
Come here, Doug.
So, Kirsty drunkenly staggers about the house. There's a spooky-looking encounter between her and Julia on the staircase that goes nowhere. And then what even happens? Oh, Kirsty goes home with Steve, and they do some makeouts in her a poop-stained, blown-out corner of a subway tunnel.
Yeah, like you do.
And you're like, that's sure.
Yeah, every fucking place we see in this movie is a fucking haunted house for some reason. It's all just a little dilapidated. Yep. There's always that spot of the wallpaper that's peeling. There's water damage.
I don't
everything.
Think
maybe that's how our friend Clive sees the world.
Okay.
I think it's perpetually overcast. I don't think you see the sun in this movie.
Not Zack Snyder bad, but still, you don't.
Well, in Zack Snyder, it's just sun up or sundown. That's basically all you get.
Well, it's just shades of dark blue.
Yeah. So
slight variations of dark blue.
All right, now we get a scene of Julia's lying in bed next to Larry, who's just weeping and moaning and sleep whatevering, and she's just like, "God damn it, why am I here?" And so she goes up,
okay.
She goes upstairs to the attic. It's just like, you know what, Frank, let's do this. I got nothing going good for me.
I need that meat in me.
Yeah. So,
I waste my life with a good guy. I want the bad boy.
That's right. Let's go.
So it cuts to Kirsty. She's just in a room full of feathers and the table with some sheets on it.
Yeah, again, this is the tell a little bit because what?
Yeah, you get...
Because actually what?
You get some blood, you get some cut up you cut up Larry, and you get it was a nightmare, but...
There's baby noises.
Oh yeah, there's baby noises, yeah.
There's just chicken feathers flying everywhere.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare.
Just having a premonition of Daddy dying.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what the chicken feathers are for?
I don't know what was up with the chicken feathers.
Father's a chicken shit.
Oh, we did skip one thing. As Kirsty and Steve were walking home, you do get the first shot of just a creepy, homeless, weirdo-looking guy staring out at them.
It's Rob Zombie.
He's like, I hope you could see this because I'm doing it as hard as I can. Because he is just shoving his face out this doorway to look at him. But anyway,
you just hear fat.
All right, so yeah, she wakes up from her nightmare. And did you notice Steve was sleeping on the floor?
Yeah.
Was that just because Kirsty has a twin bed, or is he just kind of a gentleman?
So maybe they didn't bang.
Yeah, that's kind of what
She
I was
was in her
thinking.
clothes too,
Yeah.
so maybe she was drunk and
Yeah.
they just put her in. It would have been nice if they had like shown that
Well, no. I mean,
instead of nothing to that.
kind of yes, but also kind of no, because none of this mattered. Like, he is so
Yeah.
irrelevant to anything that's happening in this
yes.
movie that none of that
You know,
need to be
they
in there.
They do hand stuff with each other, and then
Yeah.
I
call it a
honestly, I think the only reason he's in there, well, I mean, maybe he had a bigger part in the story this is based on or something. I don't
By
know.
hand stuff, you mean he waits until she passes out and jerks himself off?
Yeah.
Faps himself into slumber.
But the only other reason I could think of him being in there is so when we keep cutting back to Kirsty. Like like it's not just as random. Like it's not just like, oh, let's cut to her and have her, see a weird guy staring at her when she walks home on her own. Like they have dialogue she can spout off to a secondary person, but like he's just a sounding board.
What's even
Yeah.
the dialogue?
They
They don't even say anything about it.
No, yeah, it's not that important. The idea, it's literally just we've created a scene where things are happening, so it's not as random as if we just to cut to her walking home with this weirdo staring at her. It's not, I'm not saying that's a good thing.
Like it could have.
They're trying to make it more than
Steve
it
was
is.
in the film. He could have just been
Technically
for
is,
the
but-
dinner scene and this scene just long enough for him to walk her home and her to wake up with a dream, and then he's never in it again.
Yeah.
That would have been fine.
Wait, there's a lot of reasons he doesn't need to be there, but there's also just like he's at certain points just a random sounding board, just so she's not talking out loud to herself. That's his purpose.
Still better than the guy in Halloween, if you remember, that just went upstairs with Michael Myers' sister and then like apparently took her top off and just left.
Oh,
Remember, he goes up there and then like literally like 10 seconds later he's gone. Like he's leaving.
the idea is they're supposed to have had sex, but since we're kind of seeing it in real time, either he's the fastest lay in the world, like the Flash level, or he just took her top off and said, "See you later."
So anyway, Kirsty calls Uncle Frank to her dad Larry just to make sure he's okay, and then we cut to the next day where Julia's like, "I'm gonna go pick up a dude, and I'm gonna bring him home," and this dude's just like, "Yeah, I'm gonna like get you in the house," and then. Julia's a little nervous because, she's about to murder a dude. So he's like, "I'm going to fucking rape you." And then he's like, "Nah, I better not."
I'm going to kiss you aggressively. Is this all right with you?
Yeah, and you're like, this tone, I don't get it.
I'm a bad guy. I'm a strong
it was-
man.
he was under the impression she brought him home
Yeah.
to fuck.
Yeah.
And then, and we're supposed to have a little sympathy for him. But then when she's looking like she's changing her mind and he gets all aggressive and pushy, then our sympathy all goes out the window.
Well, I think it's
And it's like, okay, murder this fucker.
yeah, and I think it's also that thing of the kind of double meaning of like, "Oh, you're not going to change your mind about this, are you?" It's like he essentially speaking for Frank.
Yeah.
Like you're not going to let this guy go
Yeah,
now.
she's
are
like,
you?
all right, you're an asshole. Yeah, I will
But,
kill
yeah.
you.
Exactly.
I've already sent a letter to my brother saying that I got lucky in this manner. Please don't make a liar out of me. I am sorry, I did not mean to push
He
myself.
absolutely
on
did
you."
not sound anything like that whatsoever.
No, he had a British accent.
So
But I will also say, it's another part of this movie that I wish we could have cut Steve out of to get more of, which is this mother who they do kind of set her up almost like she's an evil stepmother, but she does, at least in the beginning, still seem to be like redeemable, because she could easily just be like, "Oh, he wants blood. He probably wants his brother's blood. Let me take him up there." I think he, explicitly wants his brother's blood, but they could just take him up there and be done with it, and maybe even do Kirsty too. But she seems to be going like, "No, okay, I'll figure this out. I'll make this work. I'll bring other guys home. Everybody gets what they want. No, they don't have to die, at least at first."
So, either way, guy, She takes the guy up to the attic. Fellas out there, if the lady ever takes you to her house and this is the room she wants to pork in,
Oh yeah.
so just call it quits there. It's not.
I like to call this the Dookie room.
So
I'll give you a pro tip right now. Anybody want to take you back to their house to have sex, even if this isn't the room they want to have sex in, but it's in their house, you might want to think about leaving.
Yeah.
That's just, it is so gross.
Excuse me, sir. Are you turned on by feces?
A little bit.
So he's like, whatever, I'll go in here, take my pants off. She's like, I'm going to hit you dead with a fucking hammer. Pow! Pretty cool. I like the breaking jaw kind of makeup effects.
Oh,
that was pretty awesome. And then unleashes an Uncle Frank on him. And he's like, don't look at me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He sucks on this guy for a while.
He does. Sucks
And-
him dry.
Yeah.
Well, that's why they brought him to the house. So somebody had to.
Yeah, so now this guy's reduced to like a desiccated husk, and Uncle Frank here is he's like a Slim Goodbody kind of.
Yeah.
He's pretty cool looking. He's got like most of a muscular system now, and he's got a good amount of slime on him.
Yeah. So how does it? So he can't get. He doesn't use all the parts of the animal.
I was just going to
Yeah.
say, like, do we want to call Fat Chat foul? Because he leaves a lot of meat on
This
the
is a fat
bone.
chat
Yes.
foul. This is straight up a fat chat foul.
Yeah, like do you only get a certain amount of time? Is it like Double Dare? You just got to eat as much as you can in a certain window. Like I don't know why
it's
that's
mostly
Double
just
Dare.
the
but-
blood. He's sucking the blood out of him.
But
He
with-
left a lot of blood still there.
Yeah, he did.
But with his brother, he was able to use his skin.
Yeah, it
So
seems
I'm
to
just
just be skin for skin.
confused.
I don't know.
With his brother, I think he took a shortcut.
Yeah, he
We'll
was
get to that.
shortcutting it.
This is also an issue I had with the Brendan Fraser Mummy movie. Because when he's released, and I know they do kind of specify it's more of a like, I need the eyes from this guy, I need the whatever from that guy, but like it is also that guy's got skin too, he's got organs, like whatever you need, take it.
He's got
What
eczema
do you-
though.
Eh.
The Mummy was cherry picking, like very obviously cherry picking.
Okay.
But
So
This guy's just being lazy
yeah,
or wasteful.
wasteful. Yeah.
You know what? That tracks. You left that fucking chicken on the counter.
Yeah.
Leaving
Like
these bodies
he could
everywhere.
have taken the rest of the body and boiled it down like bone broth. You know,
Mm.
you got a stew
It's
going.
a stew, yeah.
So he's like this like lubed up Slim Goodbody here and turns to Julia and he's like, come to daddy.
That's redundant.
I'm gonna grab that titty. And immediately goes for the boob grab. And she like licks his slimy finger and it's not pleasant.
I don't know what's gross. More gross is gross hands or saggy ass titties.
But so
His
she's
or hers.
Either way.
so she's like, I'm gonna take this dead body, just carry it across the hall.
To the sewing room?
Yeah.
Or whatever. Like,
To like the storage room, whatever that is. And Larry comes home at that point, and they she tries to avoid Larry for a while, then hides in the bathroom because she's also covered in blood. And Larry waits for her outside the bathroom. He's like, "Do you want a cookie?"
little girl.
Yeah.
Little
so,
girl.
What? I was done with Larry at this point. I wasn't feeling.
I was done with Larry the moment I saw him.
I wasn't feeling Larry to begin with, but like at this point, I'm like, he had that cookie in his pocket.
He must have.
Where did he produce that cookie?
That's his feeding little girls cookie.
yes.
It's a
I'm not saying
problem.
that's
You
good.
keep cereal in your pocket.
yeah.
That's how he feeds the chicks.
He was kind of a Chester.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was
he's
a little
used to the
bit.
Chester school of picking up ladies.
Also, no, this isn't necessarily a problem, but I am just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Because, yeah, she goes in the bathroom. She's just sitting there and ignoring him, and then eventually says she's sick. You're covered in blood and you're trying to hide it. Get in the fucking shower.
Yeah.
Explains why you're in the bathroom. You'll
Yeah.
be clean when you come out.
Okay, you're talking like somebody who's got money to have a working shower on their movie set. Okay,
Yeah,
Mine was...
I'm pretty sure the shower in that bathroom just sprays feces out the faucet anyway.
Wait.
Or
Also-
not to mention, oh, you're in the shower? I gotta pee. I'm gonna come in and pee. Oh, look at all the bloody fucking
Well, but if you're also...
clothes on the floor.
Well,
Look at all the
maybe.
bloody fucking.
Yeah. Oh, I've had my 45-year-old period.
All right.
There it is.
All right.
All right. So Julia goes back to talk to Frank some more, and he tells her about the Cenobites. The Cenobites are looking for him.
They're delicious.
They're delicious, yeah.
But it's a stupid name. I'm sorry. It sounds like something you get at Cinnabon.
Agreed.
To be fair, that's not made up for this movie. It's like a real word.
It's even worse. It doesn't make it better.
Let's get the Google machine.
If I'm not mistaken, Cenobite is some language, means like a religious following sect or something.
It sounds like something that somebody told you was real and it's not.
Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. Anywho, yeah, basically,
That legit sounds like something you get
he
8
broke.
pieces free with any large
Cenobite-
two-topping pizza.
According to Merriam-Webster, is a member of a religious group living together in a monastic community.
Yeah, see,
Which is technically true of these guys, but they could have picked a better name.
That's
Yeah.
really stupid.
it doesn't make it any less silly.
That's really stupid. That's like worse than Kreitz from Critters.
So, either way, we got to cut to Kirsty working at the pet store. She's having a shitty day. Karen's yelling at her. The manager's not there. Fucking gross ass bum guy is just eating crickets right out of the tank.
Now, gentlemen, how did you feel about this pet store being a part
I've
of
been
the
there.
part of the world?
I mean, this, yeah.
I mean, that's 80s pet store.
They had monkeys.
Well, yeah, I
I
mean,
mean, in the 80s, you were allowed to do a
They had,
lot
like,
more in a
what
pet
was it,
store.
like a baboon?
Yeah.
it seemed a bit crazy, but at the same time, it wouldn't shock me.
Just
Yeah.
a mandrill stuffed in a bird cage.
Yeah.
The more I learn about pet stores through my job, the more I'm like, yeah, this checks out.
Probably have.
All right.
And especially in the 80s.
Have you ever had a dude that looked like Rob Zombie Jesus just stuff his hand in the cricket bin?
I mean, I'm
Yes.
pretty sure John's had to deal with an employee like that.
Everything that happened in that scene, I have dealt with.
All right.
And more and stuff that didn't, such as the monkey jacking off.
Oh, okay. I mean, what do you do? But what do you do when a monkey jacks off? You just let it do it, right?
You just back up and
Right, yeah.
you know,
It's like-
either watch the show or don't watch the show.
like Silence of the Lambs.
That's how we got into Harry Potter.
He'll be done before
Wait,
I'll be
what?
able to stop him, basically.
What?
And also,
You know
yeah,
about
what the
that?
hell did you just say?
You don't know about that? I think it's the second Harry Potter. At one point, there's a dramatic scene where they're being told about the Chamber of Secrets in one of the classrooms. But if you look off to the side, there's just a monkey doing his business because they couldn't do anything about it. Like, oh, we have a baboon in this scene. What's he doing? Oh,
That was a real
just keep
good-
filming and go.
I
It was a
mean,
real good take, though. Let's keep,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, let's not let the baboon jacking off in the background ruin
no,
the.
I think that
Ruin the take.
I think Kenneth Branagh was like, "That's right, more jacking off. Jerk it, you monkey, or I'll jerk it for you."
yeah. So,
Put Viagra in his drink. I want him to do it again.
I'm Kenneth Branagh. I directed Thor. Suck that monkey's dick.
And there it is.
so Kirsty's like
Just sprinting
throwing
across
this
the line.
cricket eating dude out of the store. He's like, I'm going to keep a few in my beard for later. And then he goes to the door. Steve's here, like, I'm in this movie. You're like, don't care, Steve. Get out of here. And the guy's like, she like looks at him, turns around. There's a bunch of bird noises, then looks back and he's gone. And they're like, all right, I guess he became all the birds in the cages. I don't know.
I guess, but there's still birds in the cages. Also, like,
Remember, it's foreshadowing. To,
he's foreshadowing when he turns into a lawn ornament. Also, like the door frame of the pet shop takes up the whole frame of the film. It's like he could have legitimately just
walked
walked
out
outside. And it would have been like, oh, he walked 5 feet in a different direction. He's now washing himself in front of a fire hydrant. Cool.
Basically, she's like a toddler. Like, you put a hand in front of your face, she doesn't know you're there anymore.
Yeah. That's why she's so good with that puzzle box.
So
Oh,
We
stop.
another scene of Julia like just lowering a guy home, hitting him with a hammer, and taking him out. Afterwards, Frank smokes a cigarette and is wearing clothes, even though he doesn't have skin. So
Oh my!
his clothes get
just
pretty
so
gross
stupid.
pretty fast.
This bothered me on multiple levels.
And so also like his nerve endings are growing in now,
Yeah.
so he should just be like in absolute just insane pain right
Yeah,
now.
but look at the life choices.
where he's
Frank
been,
makes.
yeah.
He didn't
That's
care.
true. He's probably
And-
getting off on it.
And that's also, we're going to save ourselves a few gallons of ketchup.
Yes.
And
I'm sure that is the bulk of the reasoning for this, but I was just like, A, that's gonna hurt, and B, you're just ruining those clothes. Why is this happening? But
So yeah,
budget will out.
he shows Julia the puzzle box. He's like, "Don't touch it." And tells her, that nothing in life was pleasing him anymore. He needed to take it to the ultimate limit. So he got this puzzle box. And it shows him like hanging out with the Cenobites, just literally hanging there, getting like himself torn apart and like crazy spinning pillars. And
He couldn't just carrying himself like a respectable person.
and Julia's like, "All right, I will help you run from these Cenobites because this seems like a thing I want to be involved in."
Yeah.
At this point, I've committed several murders, so let's see this through to its conclusion.
Murdered a bunch of people. You're growing up from a goo monster to slim good body, and like, now there's a magical box involved with religious cults that's coming after you.
yeah, this
I'm
extra
good.
dimensional cult, they'll never find us.
This hot dickin' better be worth it because
Apparently.
she's willing to go
And that's
a
the
long
thing,
way.
like-
She's into knife playing. Not a
Yeah.
lot of people are, so it's
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing to me. It's like after you saw him in all of those various states of goop,
Mhm.
how could you separate that from like even if he got human again? How could you separate that? Like,
Oh, you know how.
I know.
Because every time she looks at him, he goes, "Don't look at me," and she just goes in her happy place and remembers the dickin' she
The
got
best
before.
dickin' of her life.
Yeah,
On her wedding dress.
on her
On
wedding
her
dress.
wedding
On her
dress.
wedding dress.
Jesus.
Out of the 2 Dickens she's had in her life, that was the best.
I'm more curious.
Maybe Larry's just really bad at it.
I mean, yeah, you could just look at him and know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
but-
for sure. But yeah, I'm more curious how she was able to live however long they've been married without being like, you know what, forget it. I'm going to go, chat up Frank. See what kind of life we could have.
Well, because Frank was never really like. It's not like you could just call Frank on the phone.
yeah,
he's
not
off.
He's not
like,
the marrying kind.
Well,
Yeah.
no, I know it wouldn't have ended well, but like, why don't go marry freaking Larry. Don't.
I mean, real talk, like they had money. She could have just got.
There was a reason she was marrying Larry before she met Frank.
Yeah, like she obviously loved him. It's like you got money. Put a Sibian up there in the attic. Done. Problem solved. Everybody's happy.
spray it with some horse lube every once in a
Spray with
while.
some horse lube.
Nail a few rats to the wall and ride that
Some
thing.
rats.
Hey, good news. This attic lubes itself every couple days.
Yeah, just comes out of the floorboards. It's great.
Just make sure you're not bleeding when you go on there, or Uncle Frank will pop out of the floor.
Jesus.
So anyway, so now we get the scene where like Julia and Larry are watching a boxing match, and Larry's like, you used to not really be a fan of this, and she's like, I don't like watching men beat each other up. She's like, I've seen worse. Literally true. And Frank is just in the attic, like he's like monkey slamming the walls, just freaking out. Like
He's nailing rats to the walls.
that's true. Yeah,
What the fuck?
he doesn't have much to do in that room, Tony. She could have given him a book or something. I don't know.
Here's a puzzle. No, no puzzles.
Crossword puzzle. Calm down.
First word was Cenobite.
Freaking the word search calls for the Cenobites.
But just nerdy ones.
So
We can show you such sites.
2 across is weed.
I mean, I think that's how Mr. Nibbles probably talks.
3 down is half. 4 across is so many. Uh-oh.
so we get
Time to create your character sheet.
no. We get just an unnecessarily long scene of like Larry's like, I'm gonna go check out what's going on in the attic, and Julia's like, no, I'm gonna make out with you, and he's like, I still want to know what's going on in the attic. So he goes up there and he's it's like rats nailed to the wall, and he's just like, yeah, this is above board. It was probably just a rat.
Rats are nailing themselves to the walls up here.
Uncle Frank's God knows where. He's just hiding in the shadows there or something. And then...
we know where he is.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he's not in the attic. He's in the... That's right. Because
he's child's playing.
I forgot that this gets even friggin' weirder.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, now Larry's like, all right, well, you're still all turned on. Let's go in the bedroom. I'm going to make out with you while you scream no. Yeah. And he takes a long time to stop after the word no. And during that whole time... Frank just comes out. He's like, you know what's going to turn you on, baby? It's going to cut this rat in half. Just, what the hell, even? What the hell?
He was sending her a message that he wanted to skin Larry by skinning the rat. He's like, we could do this right now.
So, I mean, that is what's going on
and that's
here. But
what she was screaming no about.
Yeah. Like, we know that's what's happening, but we're just like, movie, come on, movie.
So is it just nostalgia that's making her say no? 'Cause she said multiple times she doesn't love him. Larry, I mean.
Well, this is what I was talking about before, where this is the other movie that I would have liked to have seen, where she's actually struggling with how much does she care about these people versus... I guess versus Frank.
Now, Tony, you said you had a piece of trivia for us before. I believe it was during the chicken feather baby scene.
Oh, I think that one was just his mom came to see this.
Oh, okay. All right.
So
I didn't think it was that interesting, but now seeing all of this again, I was like, oh yeah, it's interesting to think his mom was in the audience for that.
So this laugh out loud romp of a movie did actually get a chuckle from me here, because it cuts from this just weird ass scene to like the next day Larry's talking to Kirsty at a Chinese restaurant. He's just like, yeah, I'm having problems with Julia. Can you go check it out? Maybe go talk to her.
I think she's bipolar.
Yeah. Like, why isn't she here with us? She doesn't have a job that I'm aware of.
So, Kirsty goes to, stop by, but Julia's bringing another guy home.
Yeah.
And so Kirsty sees this potential affair going on here, and she's like, yeah, I'm going to sneak in the house.
Yeah.
And at this point now, the guy is getting attacked with a hammer and is screaming. So it seems like she should be able to hear the man. But
yes, I have a lot of questions with it. Yeah. The first one is she's going over like her dad's, like you said, her dad said, check on her, have a little chat, maybe, get her out of her funk or whatever. She comes over and sees he's walking in with this dude, and she's immediately suspicious of it, but it's like, there's no chemistry between them. I don't, if she jumped to this is some kind of an affair, that's a crazy leap, because I would honestly think she's trying to sell the guy the house. There did not seem to be any romantic chemistry between those two.
I would say they're having just casual sex would be like what I would assume.
Oh, I wouldn't even go there, because this was, this guy's Weasley looking, like he's not very good. I mean, I guess her husband isn't either, Larry. But I mean, again, this seemed more like a transaction of some kind, like she's selling him something.
It's a transaction already.
Yeah, but anyway, but yeah, she just immediately gets suspicious, and then I guess the idea is she then soon hears him screaming, maybe.
Yeah, and she was trying to get in harder after that.
She certainly freaks out and is just trying to break in.
So, knowing full well now that Kirsty's in the house, Julia here's Kirsty coming upstairs, knowing also full well that Frank is just doing God knows what he does with these victims. Julia's just like, I'm just gonna remove myself from this whole situation and hide.
Sure.
Just cause. So,
well, I think I believe this is supposed to be essentially the turning point where it's like, I still don't want to kill these people, but if she walks into that room, I can't be held
I
responsible.
mean, that's basically
for what
it.
happened.
Because she's like, I could just stop her and talk to her, but no, not gonna. So, this guy half blood drained jumps out, is like, help me. Then Frank comes out and he's like, oh, it's Kirsty. I'm gonna get all creepy on you. And pulls him into the attic room, gets all up ons. She just puts her hand inside of him. He's like, well, so you don't have skin, do you? And like, Frank's scary, but you realize like he's missing several important like body systems.
Start pulling shit.
So he's just like, whoa, like starting to droop over. She like kicks his legs out and stuff. He's
I
just,
think she kicks him in the
kicked him
dick.
in the
yeah.
guts, yeah.
But he was not able to walk properly after that.
Well,
yeah.
She kicked him in the. He probably doesn't have a scrotum yet.
Yeah, he's got no protection. On that.
Complete raw nerve endings.
He should have been throwing up all that blood.
So, then she grabs the puzzle box. He's like, don't touch that. And she's like, fuck that. And throws it out the window. And then runs out of the house. He's like, I really should have thought that plan through better.
That's pretty much how things with me and Sharon are when she gets mad at me. She takes one of my toys and just throws it out the window. Like, don't you touch that.
Come to daddy.
Runs out of the house, picks the puzzle box up, and, just goes for a nice walk after that. Sees some nuns, passes out, wakes up in a hospital.
Yeah, let's backtrack a little
What's
bit
that?
and make it very clear that he wasn't just trying to kill her or something.
Yeah.
He wanted to do the naughty touch to his niece.
Yeah, he wanted to explore the limits of pain and pleasure with her.
Yeah.
Uncle Frank, he's a wholesome guy. So
Wholesome as in he wants some holes.
yeah, and she put a few more into him. All right, so now should we call it? Yeah, she passes out in the gutter by some nuns, and then
Then she gets committed?
Yeah, you see like a flower blooming, and you're like, okay. And then the flowers on the TV set, and like a nurse is just sitting there watching flowers bloom.
She's watching PBS.
Yeah.
Sure.
I guess that's all they get at the hospital.
Nature. It was 1987. That was
Like,
like, there was
what
that.
else did I have?
There was that and like 3 other channels.
Yeah, well, give me put that
Yeah.
Bob Ross on for me.
That also is, again, at this point where I'm like, wait, what decade is this? Because the woman looks like she's out of the 50s or something, this nurse. This asylum, I guess, that she's in.
Wait, why though? Because she was found passed out on the street. Why was she not in regular hospital?
I don't know.
So
Again, I can only imagine it's because we live in the universe of haunted mansions. Everything is dilapidated and gross and terrible, so they don't have regular hospitals. They have asylums.
My guess is they couldn't make a regular hospital room, so they were like, just get as close as you can.
Maybe, but
Or maybe Clive Barker's been in a few asylums.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So the Dr. Irresponsible here, he comes in. She's like, I want to talk to my dad. He's like, shut up. It's like, what's this box? She's like, I don't know. And then he's like, all right, I'm going to lock you in the room with it.
yeah, what?
And then leave.
Going to get the cops. Here, play with this,
it's like,
I guess.
The cops want to talk to you. I think you might have been involved with a murder. This might be evidence. Hang out with it for a moment. Like, what?
Murder how? Because I have blood, I guess. But
I don't know.
And now the box is basically cheating here. Well, so the movie doesn't really explain the rules, but she like touches it and it just sort of solves itself. You're like, that's not, I thought the whole point was you had to actually do the puzzle, but who knows?
She touched it just right, John.
Yeah.
Normally, yes, but she's kind of cute, so we figured we'd just help out a little. And
Yep.
Well, I think
So-
there seems, because I think he had the same deal in the beginning of the movie. There seems to be a thing of like, if you find the G spot of this box,
Yeah.
I guess
Diddle it
it
properly.
does the first part of it for you to open the world to hell, and then you need to figure out the puzzle to get it to close.
Yeah. So either way, just a wall in the room opens up. Just goes to random, like,
Hallway.
filthy baby crying, dusty hall. But she walks down and she encounters the thing. Should we do a round table trying to do like a hot take on what this is that she runs into?
I mean, It just looked like an uncooked dick.
Mm-hmm. With 4 smaller dicks for...
What does a cooked dick look like? How many
Not
cooked dicks
that.
have you
It's
seen?
just a raw pink dick with like a fish face. Dick and all. It's like that one level in the Village.
To me,
Resident Evil.
it was like a fetus that was curled in the opposite direction, like a scorpion.
Mm-hmm.
It had like a little spiky thing.
Yeah,
on
a little
the
scorpion
end.
tail.
Yep.
Yeah.
And combine that with those chompy things on the sticks in Labyrinth, and there you go. That was this puppet.
Give it a purple helmet.
Yeah.
Sounded like a hot dog down the hallway. That's what it looked like.
So,
It definitely was a hot dog going down the hall.
having seen this movie many years ago, I knew this thing was here, but I did not remember anything about what it looked like, other than it was like it was in an upside down configuration. So I was like, when it first appears, I'm like, Brain, what is that? And it was like, it's a man lobster. So I was like, all right, man lobster. It
didn't just say puppet immediately.
Yeah. Well,
Bad puppet.
Well, obviously a puppet.
Bad puppet of what?
I
Bad
will
puppet
say,
of what?
yeah, you could say what you want about bad puppets, and I can't argue that. But one thing they did, I liked about this whole thing is it is clearly it's a dude in a costume, but it's, as stated, it's upside down. So it's the guy has his hands and he's just kind of climbing around the walls, but they're meant to look like it's feet. So it has little hands at the bottom, I guess, kind of at his dick, next to the head that are grabbing at her while it's going around. It's a nice
This
little
would
trick.
be a great costume to actually make for a convention or something, though, if you think about, like, because you just have, like, a face down at you.
Yeah.
At, like, your junk, and you just push off things with your arms and run around. Anyway.
Yeah, I will also say this probably also, I mean, besides the fact that these effects probably weren't as bad in 85 or 87, this also, I'm sure isn't helped by the fact that we now have, like, HD TVs and you get a better look at it.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, I mean, I think it looks cool, but you're like, this is not something selected for its effectiveness.
No.
Its mode of transportation cannot outrun a barefoot, drugged up girl. And
it's just the greeting, crying baby scorpion.
Yeah.
That's,
and it just chases her back out of whatever this shitty tunnel was, and you're like, all right, that happened, and we're done with it. And then now we get like just a pretty creepy scene as the Cenobites, make their appearance here. You got like the TV's getting all staticky. You're getting the IV is filling with blood, and then it pops and it's spraying blood everywhere, and you got crazy lights. I like when the tiles invert to the black tiles with the white grout.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
That looked pretty cool. And then you get 4 Cenobites show up.
Huh?
And what do we think about these guys? Let's start with the man who's never seen them before.
Well, I mean, I knew about Pinhead.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been particularly threatened by Mr. Pinhead.
But he's got pins in his head, though.
Oh no! Give me a hammer.
John has several things he could
And
use as a
S&M
hammer.
gear. I mean,
Yeah.
his nipples.
And
John.
I think I had also seen Vagina Throat before. Also, not particularly intimidating. And then the first thing that popped into my head when I saw the one with the his lips pulled back.
Yep.
He's just Mr. Nibbles. Like that's
Just constantly like.
yeah. Like also, not in the least bit intimidating to me whatsoever. And then like the blobby one,
Butterball.
Butterball, I guess. Yeah. That looks.
King Kai.
Oh, was it King Kai?
Yeah, he
Sorry.
looks like King Kai from
Yeah,
Dragon Ball.
blue.
So, yeah, except like apparently somebody has cut open his stomach and like taken stuff out. I guess.
Not enough.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe that's his.
There will always be more.
Yeah,
Fudge dip devil.
he's supposed to represent gluttony, but also not the most intimidating monster I've ever seen. Like I guess the fact that they have magical powers that can summon hook chains and shit sort of levels the playing field. But like one-on-one, I wouldn't be too scared of any
John,
of these guys.
They are so hardcore. They kick their own ass more than
Twice a day. Yeah.
Pretty much constantly kicking their own asses.
Well, I mean, I show up to work every day, so
That's pretty much an ass kicking.
for 10 hours straight, if I'm lucky.
Oh, I'm just picturing your boss as Pinhead.
All right, guys.
I mean,
Don't get fired now.
Anyway, we can talk about that later. But yeah, I mean, I think the makeup effects look pretty cool. And
I think the effects are
no, they
cool.
look good.
They're fine.
They're
yeah.
just not
Yeah.
scary.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a certain level of scariness to them. Like, I don't know. I'm very jaded on some of this stuff because I know it's a movie and stuff. If I saw that in real life, I'm sure it'd be freakier, things like that. But
If I saw that in real life, if Pinhead was walking up to me on the street, I'd be like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
do you need a doctor?
Yeah.
well, yes, I mean there is that.
Are you bleeding from your nipples?
Yes.
But like, if I were, was alone in some gross, attic room playing with a puzzle a Rubik's cube of some kind, and suddenly like the wall started bleeding and he stepped out, I might be a little intimidated there.
My
Just
name
saying.
is Doug.
Until that happened.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
but yeah, I
Tear your
like.
taxes apart.
see,
They're on the cusp of, it's kind of cool but kind of dumb. I mean, like we get into worse later because CD Head is not in this one.
Yep.
But
And camera face.
and camera. Oh god, I forgot about camera.
yeah.
Cambot from Mr. Sin. So
No,
Cambot
I
would
guess
be more
maybe
scary,
that's
yeah.
part of the problem too, is I don't know anything about the rest of the franchise
now,
and what these things are capable of, if they have weaknesses. But like, yeah, if that,
Well, even in this one,
Weaknesses
all we
pointing
know
the
they're
puzzle at
capable of. Yeah, all we know they're capable of is when you open the box, they show up and they basically just drag you to hell.
and they're gonna catch a bullet, or depending on what room I'm in,
Anything.
a sword. Well, that's the thing. I don't know that. Like,
Yeah.
so they don't
Fair.
scare
so
me.
what if
Like,
in the film, instead of in addition to summoning the chains, they just walked up and sunk their fingers into this guy's head?
they would still catch a bullet.
No, but I mean, would it be more intimidating if you saw that they could just put their hand right through bone and flesh and just,
Yeah, I'd be like, well, fuck you, and I'm gonna kill you before you kill me.
okay.
I would say
And then if that didn't work, I run away.
Now, what if they suddenly morphed into a spooky, scary skeleton, the kind you would find at a dollar store?
so probably two-dimensional.
Why would you do that?
You're getting ahead of yourself. Yeah. Anyway. No, well, I mean, nobody tries to shoot them, but, and I'm sure that happens in one of the sequels. I
It
don't
does,
remember.
yeah.
In the
But
hood, probably?
Or space.
Hellraiser goes to space.
But yeah, I don't think bullets affect them. Or
All right,
anything.
well, then I would be intimidated and run away.
Yeah, they are
Yeah.
Terminators as far as I'm aware. There's nothing that stops them other than closing
Well,
this
they're
box.
they thrive on suffering.
Yeah,
They
they'll
don't
probably
care
be into
about-
it. They'd
yeah.
be like, oh, you shot.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's
I'm
really
about
the
to shoot
only
you back.
scary thing about them is that you if you could beat their ass, they would enjoy it.
Yeah. You have to close your eyes.
Yeah. So either way, you're like, all right, these guys, it's kind of creepy. They're like, we're gonna tear your soul apart and some other spooky stuff. They're gonna take her to new levels of sensation and all that. And she's like, yo, one of your guys escaped. And they're like, no, he didn't. No.
She's like, yeah, he did.
No.
I can show you.
No, oh.
The lady said, I was like, maybe we should have checked the cameras. He's like, no. So
Camera face.
yeah, so they she's basically just like, yeah, I'll bring you to him. And they're like, good, because we don't know how to find our way around town. Yeah. So they like leave basically. So
Whatever town this is.
they're like, if you maybe we'll consider letting you go for accidentally touching the fucking box that you did not mean to. If you bring us Frank. So like she's like, deal, let's go. And we cut back to back at the house. I don't even know what these people's last names are. I don't think we ever get it. But Larry comes home.
Is that Cotton then?
Yeah, it would be Cotton. Yeah, that's right. It is Cotton. So back at the Cotton household. So Larry comes home. Julia's like, I got to show you something in the attic. And then he's like, oh, okay, cool. And you're like, oh, that can't be good. And then it cuts to like Julia and seemingly Larry porking. And then Julia, Kirsty comes back to the house with the puzzle box. And Julia lets her in as catastrophe abounds in the room.
Tony's opening the puzzle box right now.
I'm about to open
Tony accidentally opened the puzzle box
Hell will
trying
be
to
unleashed.
get out of this room.
Oh, he's about to wreck my bathroom.
Yeah, the puzzle box is about to open and destroy your bathroom.
So I understand Kirsty's been through a lot.
Mm-hmm.
She's seen a lot today. It
smells like he started before he left the room.
Yeah.
That's why that transformer fell over.
I guess
His suffering will be legendary.
He's got a fudge dip devil dog.
So anyway, all right. So now Kirsty's back at the house, right? Julia lets him in, and you see Larry, her dad. And it's quite clear that this is a man wearing another man's skin.
Yeah.
Like, I understand Kirsty's been through a lot, but like that's
an Egger suit.
Yeah, that is an Egger suit. Like this just. Like, did he think he's just covered in blood, I guess, from his battle with Frank? But he's like, no, it's cool. I killed Frank. It's fine. He's gone. And, I'm just going to chill here for a bit. And then Kirsty's like, I need to see Frank's dead body. So he's like, all right, Julia, show him. And then you just see like a skinned, like, flesh pile. So that could be anybody.
Yeah.
And then, she locks her in the attic, and the Cenobites show up, and they're just like, "Where's Frank?" It's like, not now. I gotta go.
She's like, he's right there.
Yeah.
They're like, we want the man who did this.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's how she figures out that that's not her Uncle Frank, and she's like, shit. So now Larry grabs her, is like, "Come to Daddy." She claws his face and like tears some of her dad's skin off, and Uncle Frank, I think he's absorbed enough people now to get his switchblade back that he always carries.
Yeah. He's leveled up.
Yep. And he's going to stab Kirsty. Kirsty moves, stabs Julia. He's like, oh, well. Drains some of her blood, but just a little bit, I guess.
Yeah, for what, though? I mean, it doesn't fix his face.
Yeah. Clearly, Uncle Frank has no remorse here that he just killed the person that brought him back.
Yeah.
No, he's got his hot little niece now.
Yep. So Kirsty goes upstairs and hides in the other room in the attic, the storage room, and we get a Jesus statue jump scare.
Yep.
And then we get a second jump scare of a dead body just overflowing with maggots, just the maximum amount of maggots you could stuff into a fake dead body.
They were real maggots too.
Mm-hmm. And then she goes back into the other room with her dad, and Frank sneaks up on her. No, that's right. She comes out of the storeroom and just has a good cry.
Yeah,
and just right there.
She's like, I'm gonna break down now.
Leave or anything.
Nah.
And Frank just comes out, grabs her, tosses her back in the attic. He's gonna finish the job. He's got his knife, but she's got some Cenobites.
Ooh, doggy.
They show up and they've been like, "Oh, Frank, you've been a bad boy.
Mm-hmm.
You've been not torturing yourself, and that's not acceptable."
Give us about 20 minutes while we set up all these items here. We need the pillars.
Yeah, and they're just kind of like, just sort of doing their thing, getting their accoutrements set up and like priming the set. And Frank's like, "I'm going to fucking kill you, Kirsty." It comes at her. But, then lots of chains come out. chains are coming from everywhere. They got hooks on them. They're pulling Frank every which way.
Oh, yeah.
And they turn him into Stretch Armstrong.
Yeah, and then they just explode him.
Yeah, well, he licks his lips a little bit because, he's not really all that bothered by this occurring.
Yeah,
and he's like,
he's been there, done that.
he's like, we've done this before.
Yeah, it's an interesting look for
He's
him.
like,
for sure.
Jesus wept. And then he just explodes as the chains pull him apart. So, this movie, regardless of what you could say about the plot structure, it's had some cool, gore effects and, interesting imagery. And it's been a visual spectacle no matter what. That kind of ends here. As now they're like, well, there's still Cenobites. Yeah. There's still Kirsty. And the Cenobites are like, yeah, we're not done with you. And you can tell at this point, they're like, how do we kill Cenobites?
I don't know. Where's that hallway dick monster?
Yeah, so she just grabs the puzzle box and sort of just kind of plays with it / brandishes it, and it shoots some yellow PP after effects.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah. Every segment of the puzzle that she solves banishes another Cenobite.
So Pinhead's the first to go, then gets the female one, then the chattery guy, and then fucking Butterball. At this point, the house, it's the 80s, so the evil layer's collapsing because the villain's dead.
Right, yeah. It's the
as per protocols.
Standard house has to self-destruct now.
So, Butterball just gets hit by, some roof or ceiling or whatever.
I mean, to be fair, he just kind of pretended that he did so he could get workers' comp. He's just like, my shoulder.
It's gonna go back to hell and juice that one to get some time off.
Sit and I can't rotate my cuff.
Well, we need you at full health suffer for this team.
Yeah, I really, I think I need to see my primary care provider, and can I fill out accident report, please?
It's like, even in hell, the FMLA Act applies. So, either way, you're like, okay, she took care of the Cenobites. Steve's like, I'm here. You're like, no one fucking cares.
You're like, why are you here?
And then, so they go... And they're about to leave, open the front door, surprise, Man Lobster Dick Monster comes in. And it's it's swatting at him, but it can only reach a foot in front of it.
It feels like it takes 20 minutes to resolve this stupid thing. It's just...
It can't get on the other side of the doorway. So it's stuck. Steve's like, all right, I got this. And he grabs a milk bottle and shatters that like he's going to shiv it with it. And then this thing just fucking punches him in the nose with a jab, just knocks him out. But then it goes back to basically playing patty cake with Kirsty as they're both shuffling for the puzzle box.
Yeah. Do you know what happens?
For a while.
You know what happens when you've got a person in a suit whose arms are the legs? You get useless arms. Mm-hmm. So this thing has useless arms with fingers that don't move.
Yeah, it's Kermit the Frog arms.
Yeah, he is just going, yay! Trying to get this puzzle box.
How great would it have been if Kirsty just stood up and just kept soccer kicking him right in his stupid face?
It would have been perfect. It would have been the ending we needed.
Till he fell off the wall. I can't get back up.
He kicked me in my dick face.
So she finally gets the thing and she gets the puzzle box, twists it a little bit, and shoots some more yellow particles at this thing, and it's gone.
Which, remember Tony's notes that we got this ending probably just because they ran out of money to do anything else. And apparently Clive Barker and some other dude did it while drunk.
Yeah.
And, I mean, the one getting rid of the man lobster is not the worst, but the others are pretty bad.
Yeah.
But then they go outside, the door closes behind them just because, and they look at the house, and the house lights up as if it's on fire. Also, by the way, none of the house is actually collapsed, even though a whole bunch of stuff collapsed while they were in the house.
Right. No money for that.
So it looks like the house is lighting up as if it's on fire. And then it cuts to them, and that they're just standing by a few little bonfires, and there's no rubble, and there's just a burning chair, and you're like,
It's a chair.
did they go somewhere, or did the house burn down and
Did
not have a basement?
Did a fireman rescue that chair?
Yeah, like what was the sequence of events here?
Did the chair fall out and they set it on fire
Yeah.
afterward?
Yeah, I think that was supposed to be the house, and they just ran out of money for an actual burned out house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Found a field.
Yep. Just set a bonfire or two. Burned a chair.
Speaking of burning
Which-
seats, is my toilet okay, Tony? It survived? What do you mean?
You know, if you start a bonfire in the middle of a field, you know, you're gonna attract the hobos.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Toilet's not the happiest it's been, but it's still there.
Okay, great.
So this is probably the low of the movie.
Oh, God.
You want to take this one, Rob?
Oh, I'm glad I came back with this.
Yeah, so, all right. Robert Zomberg is like just sauntering up.
You got any more crickets?
Yeah, he's got his arm full of crickets. He's like, I just wanted to see if you had any empty cans or recyclables I could take along with me.
As she's throwing the puzzle box into the fire.
Yep. Yeah, she throws the puzzle box into one of the little bonfires. He's like, oh, well, I'm gonna get me that. I could probably turn it in for some change.
I was like, apparently the whole house burned down, but that one chair is still surviving.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was mentioned.
Yes. And so he grabs the puzzle box out of the fire and is engulfed himself in flame. And then this hobo turns into the rinkiest, stinkiest looking dragon skeleton.
Yeah.
Devil skeleton, like a
Devil dragon.
Like making the demon from Golden Child at the end look like top notch effects.
Yeah, it's like somebody went to spooky Halloween store and was like, oh, see that plastic wizard staff? Pull the skull off of that for me. We'll just make the rest out of paper mache. It's fine. And then marionetted this dumbass thing around, and then did it disappear after that?
It flew away.
Yeah,
It
flew off.
flew away.
And the two of them don't even really look scared.
Oh, why would you?
They're just sort of like, what even?
I mean, at that point,
Yeah.
They're like, was this a child's birthday party the whole time? Was that a magician? Tony, you have a bug on you. It's gone. It's on your microphone now. Yeah, that was the worst thing I've seen in a long time.
Beard
Yeah.
later. Okay.
And then,
Yeah.
roll credits.
Roll credits. Whatever music.
Oh, wait, no. We see another shady transaction where
Oh,
guy's like, what's your pleasure? And
Yeah,
the
we-
new guy buys the cube.
We transition from we kind of iris out almost into the center of the cube box, whatever you want
Yeah.
to call it again, and it's back on the table with another
At
shady
that market.
transaction. Yeah.
And at least 2 dead cockroaches are involved in this transaction.
Yeah.
They hung on.
And it is the same guy that sold the Mogwais, right? I mean, we're in this shared universe.
pretty much.
Okay, something like that.
So that was Hellraiser, Volume 1.
So many volumes.
Yeah. Tony.
Yeah. So, on RottenTomatoes.com, oddly enough, everybody was right on the mark on this one, I guess, at least as of this recording, because critics gave this a score of 72%, audience gave this a score of 72%.
Wow.
Okay.
Right there. That's their final thoughts and opinions. What about you and yours, Rob?
This movie's pretty dumb. Acting's pretty bad. The effects are fine to a point. I'm trying to decide whether or not I think this is worth anyone watching. If you said that the sequels are better, or one of the sequels,
second
So
one,
some people
maybe.
regard the second one as a really great horror movie.
okay,
It at least it has like more of the more crazy spooky imagery and a villain that's actually frightening.
okay. So this doesn't really set up the Cenobites at all. It doesn't really explain who or what they are that much. You could skip this movie and just watch the second one.
Probably. Because the
And be
second one
fine.
actually explains more about their world and
and
stuff.
be fine. I would say just skip it. I mean, I wasn't offended watching this movie, but it's dumb. I mean, it might be worth watching just for the hallway dick monster and zombie Jesus at the end turning into the worst Skyrim mod you've ever seen.
Rather it be the Dragon Macho Man.
I would rather it be the Macho Man Dragon.
I'd rather it be the Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm honestly split on this one. I can't recommend it like genuinely, like, oh, it's a good movie, because it's just a whatever movie. But it might be worth watching just for a laugh. That's where I'm at.
Okay, Joe.
As like an art piece, I thought it was good. Like I liked a lot of the imagery and the ideas, but as far as a movie, it's pretty bad. It's for a 90-minute movie, it feels like it's 2 hours long, more than 2 hours long. And it makes you ask a lot of questions that it doesn't come close to answering. But you know, and there's points in the acting, like there's points with Kirsty where she looks like she's legitimately having fun, you know, running from those Cenobites. But like, that being said, though, I would still recommend someone watch this movie because I like the design of everything. I like the imagery, and I suppose you could just like watch some clips on YouTube. But I think the whole experience, like as an experience, I did enjoy it. But that being said, I'm not going to be in a hurry to see this movie again. So it's one of those, I recommend everybody see it once and then move on. Yeah, that's what I got.
Count that as a light recommend.
Mm-hmm.
John.
No me gusta.
John is not impressed.
No.
All right.
The effects were decent, especially for 1987. Nothing else at all gave me any sort of excitement,
That's fair.
interest. I couldn't give a crap about these Cenobites. I've been more disturbed by watching BDSM porn on Pornhub than anything that happened in this movie.
Maybe a little more revealing about you than the movie, but I'm a bit torn on it as well. I'm kind of in the camp with Rob. Like I guess I would just put it as an acceptable. I feel like I like what they're kind of hinting at, but I feel like I want to see everything around the movie. Like, I want to know more about the Cenobites. What's their deal? Where'd they come from? I mean, like, I don't need to know the origin stories because I've seen some of them and I didn't need it. But they seem interesting, and I like their design. I like the effects made for them and everything. Like I said, it would have been interesting to get in more of the mother there and what her whole deal is, and her dealing with the should I do this, should I not do this? Like he's my husband, I don't want to kill him, but I'm in love with this other dude, and like but we just spend a lot of time with Kirsty, just like an open mouth bass, just walking around catching flies. And then her boyfriend, who just doesn't need to be there at all. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe, I imagine the stories, I haven't read the actual story this is based on. Maybe that gets in more into some of the stuff and flushes out, makes more sense. But like, with what we got, I'm just not overly impressed. But it also doesn't offend me. So it's just, if you're looking to fill out that Halloween, scary movie schedule, you could toss this on, but I don't think it's really going to do a whole lot. But yeah, that's where I'm at.
All right, everybody. That's our spooky episode. I hope you all have a fantastic Halloween time. Be safe out there. Get lots of candy. Don't touch any puzzle boxes.
Make sure your dad is wearing his own skin.
That's right. Don't go into any attics with strange women. Or at least make sure they're more attractive.
That poor lady.
It's fine.
If you're a dick monster that clings to walls with your arm leg things, maybe check into more modern what do they call them? Prosthetic stuff. You could get like a rollator and kind of wheel yourself around on that. Maybe,
Or just don't focus so much on leg day, Do some arms, get those
yeah.
tris, lats, delts. Let's get it going, man. Make sure your fingers are working. Wear wrist braces.
Maybe get 2 of those canes with the quads, and the tennis balls at the bottom, and you could walk on those.
Yeah.
Don't think just in terms of like narrow hallways. You can do more with yourself.
Yeah.
Also, since I feel a lot of people are focusing more on, the personal health and everything, and they should. So along with that, having watched some movies recently, if you come home and anyone you know and love seem to be bleeding weirdly in a sort of barrier or border around their face, maybe ask some questions about it, call a doctor, get some help. And also, because I watched Malignant, if you have some serious head injury, get it checked out.
Gross. And if you're thinking about eating a Drake's Fudge Dip Devil Dog Frosted Cream Filled Devil's Food Cake this Halloween, please do bear in mind that one cake is 45% of your saturated fat and 52% of your sugars for the day.
The fuck would you tell us this now, you jackass?
Diabetes.
Otherwise, we would not have eaten it.
Guys, Diabetes loves you. Thank you, John, for joining us.
No problem.
Probably for the
I would
last
say it
time.
was a pleasure, but not this time.
You may now run for the door.
You loved it. You loved every second of it. That deep ticking we gave you. Thank you so much. Join us next time for whatever the hell we're doing. Bye.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.